It's time for another math lesson together, boys and girls. Today we're going to be focusing on money. Really, we're going to be doing money from this week, next week, and the following week. So for the next 3 weeks, we'll be working on money together. Very important to know all about money. Money is what we make from our jobs, from our work. And you know, when you grow up and get a good job, that good job pays for your food and your clothes and a place to live. So today we're going to start looking at our coins. Now I know in your remote learning packet there's already been some money questions and your parents have been helping you with it, but let's really dig in deep to money. So let's look at our coins. So the first coin that we're going to look at today, the first piece of money, is the penny. And the penny, I've got large pictures of them here. You can see the front of the penny, the heads has Abraham Lincoln on it. It's got a side profile of him, and then at the back, the tail side, as some people call it, you have the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. So it's an actual little picture of the Lincoln Memorial, where you see Lincoln's statue there in the middle. So we have penny. So this is a penny. Front and the back, the heads and tails, and it's 1 cent. It's worth 1 cent. And so when you see a C with a line straight through it, that is just a short way of saying cents instead of writing that out every time. All right, the next piece of money is our nickel. Now our nickel, it has Thomas Jefferson on it. Thomas Jefferson was our second president. I'm thinking second. It could be third, but I'm thinking second. It's got a side profile of Thomas Jefferson, and then it's got his home in Virginia, Monticello. So the head side's got Jefferson on it, and then the tails. I've got the word nickel here, so this is called a nickel, and it's worth 5 cents. So if you have 5 pennies, that makes 1 nickel. Now you're going to need to start memorizing what the money looks like. And if your parents can give you a jar with some change in it, and you kind of practice counting it and saying this is a penny, this is a nickel, because you really need to know this. Okay, the next piece we have is a dime. Now you're thinking this looks smaller, Mrs. Lanier. It is smaller, but it's worth more. But first let's look and see who we have on it. We have Roosevelt on this, Franklin Roosevelt, who was one of our presidents during one of our world wars. So we have a side profile of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and then on the tail side, we just have some symbols. We have a torch with olive branch, and so these, they're not like memorials like that is. But this is called a dime, and it's worth 10 cents. So we have penny 1 cent, nickel 5 cent, dime 10 cent. The next piece you have is called the quarter. And I know a lot of you are probably more familiar with the quarter. The quarter has George Washington's face on the head side. On the back of the quarter, the tails, it's got our bald eagle, and he's holding arrows that symbolize our 13 colonies. So here we have the word quarter, so you can see how it's spelled, and it's worth 25 cents. Now, there's one more coin I wanted to talk about, and it's one that you don't see as often. It's called the $50, or some people call it the 50-cent piece. The $50 has John F. Kennedy, who was one of our presidents as well, and it has some of the symbols of America, our bald eagle, and so this is the back of it. $50 is worth 50 cents. So what I want you to do is be working on memorizing what all of the pieces of money are. Get your parents to give you some real change and say what it is and how much it's worth. That way you can start working on adding it together. I'm going to email out some worksheets, 1 or 2 worksheets on naming the money, and then a sheet probably on being able to count some money and add some money together with your parents' help. Okay? So we'll work on money some more next week.